Stacy, personally speaking, why don't you join me?
Hi everyone, it's Stacy, personally speaking, coming to you today on this rainy Sunday afternoon in Nagoya City, Japan. And I wanted to talk to you about something that I have been experiencing over the past 5 years since I've lived here. It's what I have coined the impersonal face of Japan. What do I mean by this? I have experienced that with each new job, new situation, that there's usually no recognition at the end of your tenure with a job or some activity or experience. What do I mean by this? So you come here, you're working as an ALT, which is what I've been doing mainly for at least 4 years of my life here in Japan. I worked as an ALT with two different dispatch companies. We call them dispatch companies because they hire you as an individual and they dispatch or send you to the schools that are looking for assistant language teachers, ALTs. And so really you interface with teachers at the schools in the staff room, and occasionally once a year or maybe twice a year, a supervisor will come to observe you to see how you are performing in your school. Incidentally, in my first year, my head teacher came several times throughout the year to assist me as a new teacher with different classes and so on. And I think that was actually a better position for me to be in, even though I was nervous a lot of the times to see her just turn up. But at the end of working for the company, outside of what my head teacher did, which was to, like have a little dinner with us, there isn't any recognition from the company itself. It is only whatever your supervisor might decide to do. There isn't any kind of acknowledgement of your presence. I don't know, maybe I'm expecting too much, or maybe I'm not sure what to expect. Maybe it's the culture of Jamaica where we come from, where we like to celebrate people when they're moving on, and that kind of thing. So I moved on from that first dispatch company. I went to another dispatch company and I spent 3 years. 3 years. And it was almost like it never mattered. I didn't have a supervisor that I connected with at all. The supervisors changed like twice in my 3 years. Actually, that's not true. The first supervisor I connected with, but he was there for a very short time before a new supervisor came into the picture who was a complete opposite of the first supervisor. No connection whatsoever, just nothing, just nothing. And there was just no relationship, no kind of relationship, which is very, very lacking in Japan itself. And then being a part of dispatch companies, it just increased that impersonal feeling. So you just feel in the middle of nowhere. You are hired by the dispatch company. You work at the school, but you don't work for the school. So there's no recognition of you per se. Maybe your school might try to include you in certain things, but that's not their job. Their role is just to have you come and teach the English classes. Their role is not to have you be a part of their festivals or to be a part of their sports days or to be a part of their bukatsu. No. Of course, you are encouraged to try and be a part of whatever you can, but there's no attempt to include you in anything unless maybe it's a one-off teacher or something. There's nothing written in the books for you as an ALT here in Japan. The impersonal face of Japan. So you come here and you pretty much feel like a nobody. You work for a company for 3 years, you're leaving. There's no fanfare. There's no sayonara, there's no goodbye, anything. There's nothing. There isn't even an acknowledgement that, hey, thank you. Thank you for working for 3 years. Like, yes, we acknowledge you're leaving the company. And I mean, like, even from your supervisor, I didn't get that at all. Like, these people, it's almost a very inhumane feeling. And I never spoke about it before. I mean, there are many things that I want to talk about. Many things I want to talk about here in Japan that I've been experiencing. The impersonal face of Japan. Yesterday, Saturday, was the last Saturday that I decided I'd be working in Japan. After 6 months, I joined a division of a company that I work for 6 months. It was on a Saturday, and you know, I realized that working on a Saturday was just not my thing, you know, and so on. And so I'm anticipating, okay, maybe I'll get some kind of goodbye. This was a different kind of setup. It was more like an eikaiwa setup. So not a public school setup. I was working there at the same place with the same students and so on. And it was just like another Saturday. Even though I'm never going back there, it was just another Saturday. There was no, okay, Stacy's going to be leaving, you know, she's going to be leaving us. And there was nothing, no announcement, nothing at all. The students were not told. And I'm like, is this normal? Is this how it usually works? I don't know. But it is just so impersonal. You pour so much out into these students, and they don't even know that they're not seeing you in the next school year. How impersonal is this? How impersonal can this country be? Is it okay? I don't find it okay at all. I think I'm getting a little emotional about it, you know. And I guess yesterday really prompted me to do this video, because it's just so impersonal. Maybe persons who work at private schools, whether junior high school, elementary school, you know, direct hires, international schools, maybe their experiences are a little different. But my experiences so far have all been very impersonal. Unless there's a supervisor or an individual teacher that kind of acknowledges that, hey, we saw you, we know you're leaving, we appreciated what you did. It's just another day. It's just another day, another person. Hey, you come, you go, hey, no big deal. The impersonal face of Japan. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but I hope there will be change on the horizon for public schools, for those who work in the public areas, for those who work in eikaiwas tirelessly. I hope there will be a change. There would be some acknowledgement by those who should give the acknowledgement, let me hasten to say. The impersonal face of Japan. This is Stacy, personally speaking.